The Silence Factory. Abuse is not just one thing. It is a kaleidoscope of poisons, turning in the light, reshaping itself depending on who's holding the glass. Sometimes it's fists and broken teeth. Sometimes it's words sharpened like razors, slipped under your skin until you bleed invisibly. Sometimes it's silence, the long deliberate absence of care, a cold front moving through the house. Sometimes it's control disguised as love, chains disguised as promises, a cage painted the color of roses. Physical, emotional, psychological, financial, spiritual. Take your pick. Abuse is an ecosystem, a greenhouse where cruelty grows in different climates. One partner cuts off your money, another cuts off your voice. One parent slaps, another gaslights. One friend isolates you, another weaponizes your secrets. All of it the same architecture, power pressing down on the vulnerable until they shrink, small enough to fit in the abuser's pocket. The worst part isn't even the act. The worst part is the silence that cocoons it, the hush that spreads across the room when everyone knows but nobody wants to name it. Victims learn this silence early. Don't make people uncomfortable. Don't disturb the dinner table. Don't disrupt the family photo. You scream in private. You smile in public. Your wounds are edited out because they ruin the aesthetic. People say, "Why didn't you leave?" They never ask, "Why didn't he stop?" People say, "I didn't want to get involved," as if neutrality is a moral stance, not complicity. Entire communities bend themselves into grotesque origami to preserve the illusion of harmony while someone is suffering under their nose. They'd rather keep the peace than save a life. They'd rather drink tea and look away than face the discomfort of truth. Victims deserve to be heard, but when they open their mouths, the world stuffs them with cotton. Don't exaggerate, don't ruin his reputation, don't make it awkward. The comfort of the many outweighs the agony of the one. The machine requires it, the system thrives on it. Families, churches, offices, they run on denial. Truth is too expensive, it would topple the structure. And so victims stay silenced, not because they don't want to speak, but because they know what happens when they do. Exile, ridicule, minimization. They get called crazy, dramatic, unstable. The abuser, meanwhile, gets called misunderstood, stressed, human. Power has good PR, pain has none. Think of all the women, the children, the partners, the workers crushed under this silence. They carry their stories like radioactive material glowing under their skin, eating them alive. The bystanders know it leaks through the walls, it vibrates in the air, but they keep their hands clean. They say it's not my place, they say they'll work it out. Meanwhile, the victim dissolves. The real crime isn't just the abuse, it's the chorus of silence that follows. The neighbors who pretend they didn't hear, the relatives who say he's still your father, the friends who change the subject. Abuse isn't sustained by the abuser alone, it's sustained by the entire audience who refuses to boo, who keeps clapping politely while the performance plays on. Victims deserve to be heard, but hearing them requires dismantling comfort. It requires stepping into the mess, shattering the illusion, admitting the world is darker than we want it to be. Most people won't do it. They want the story of healing without the ugliness of truth. They want a survivor who smiles, not a victim who screams. So the silence continues, a culture of complicity, a soundproof room built around the screams, and the victims fold themselves smaller, tighter, quieter, until they disappear altogether. I hear them in the dissonance, in the feedback loop, in the broken notes. You can't bury truth forever. It leaks through the cracks. The silence factory cannot contain the tremor forever. One day the victims will speak and the walls will shatter, and everyone who kept quiet will be forced to choke on the comfort they preserved like a relic. Until then, the abuse continues, rehearsed daily, normalized, hidden in plain sight. The world hums with it, a low frequency under every song, under every conversation, under every smile in the family photograph.